Okay, so today we're talking about modifications, mods on my four-door GTR. Now, at first glance, the car looks very stock, and that's partially true, but there's a lot of mods done to this car, and that's one of the reasons why I actually kind of chose this car when I saw it online. Just some tasteful mods on this car. So we're gonna start from the outside. Now, the front here, it looks relatively stock. And that's because it is. We still have the Series 1 lip, stock bumper, stock headlights, stock hood. Nothing really changed here. Now, one of the most obvious mods on the car externally is the wheels and suspension. Now, we know about these. These are the raised TE37. Now, these are a very common wheel in the JDM space. Now, these are OG TE37s, no real markings on it. Now, the cool thing about this one here is a Midori Sebi spec. Now, Midori Sebi is a tuner in Japan, and they have a special offset for this wheel right here. So pretty cool. Not the widest, the most aggressive. I think this one here is either 9.5 or 9 with the 5 face. So you can see the concave nature of these wheels right here. It's still also pronounced here in the back as well. And these are pretty cool. Now, the second thing here are the brakes upgrade here. These are actually Alcon brakes. These are also Midori Sebi Alcon brakes, also with DBA rotors. Now, we'll see a lot of Midori Sebi modifications on this car. This car has been to Midori Sebi for a few years, and this thing was actually maintained and modified by Midori Sebi. So Midori Sebi obviously has partnered with a lot of manufacturers. Why they have the Alcon brakes in here, Alcon / Midori Sebi, as well as Midori Sebi TE37s. And you'll see that theme here as we go around the car. Now on the side here, nothing really aggressive here. We have the optional visors here, rain visors. In the back is pretty much stock. The big thing here is the exhaust. Now we have a full titanium exhaust here. This is the Midori Sebi Silent 2 exhaust right here. It is Midori Sebi Silent Power exhaust. Serial number R33, pretty cool. Besides that, we have a shorter stubby antenna back here. The back we have stock R33 Brembo brakes and rotors, nothing crazy there. That's it for the exterior. It looks relatively stock. Now, one thing I forgot to mention as well, which is not seen here, is the suspension. We talked about the wheels and tires and brakes. We also have suspension in here. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we go under the hood, but these are running the Midori Sebi / Aragasta suspension. So pretty cool. These parts from Midori Sebi are usually like a race type of modification. Aragasta is known for motorsports. They're pretty much on the stiffer side, but these are fully adjustable. We'll see that when we open the hood here, but this is on coilovers from Aragasta. Let's take a look at under the car here a little bit, and we have one more suspension piece, and that is like a lower Nismo tie bar on here. It's relatively hard to see, but you can see it right there. This one here is a little bit faded, but that's like a dampener / cross brace for the front of the car. You'll also see this as well in the trunk. All right, and you can see that same brace here kind of ties the left and the right strut tower, and you can see it says Nismo right here, performance damper, and that goes across here. So we have a lot of rigidity in this car. But yeah, while we're here, we take a look at the battery. We have an Optima yellow top on here, so pretty cool, but that's a modification that came with the car. Let's go inside and see what kind of mods we have in here. Open the door, and the honest truth, there's not many mods in here. GTR mats, that's factory. Door cards, that all is stock. We have stock seats in here, R33 seats. The gauges are pretty much stock, R33 GTR gauges. The first mod here is this radar detector, pretty cool, built into the car, front and rear, as well as I guess a navigation type of radio in here, pretty cool. We have a Nismo shift knob in here, pretty cool, nice. I'll probably change this because it's summertime, it gets hot, I have sweaty hands and very slippery. Now we do have the R34 optional pedals on here from Nissan. You can see that right here, pretty nice. And in the back here, it's all stock as well. Very comfortable place to be. I really don't mind it. Let's go under the hood and we'll talk more about probably the most interesting part of the car, is modifications, is the engine. All right, so here it is, the RB26 inline 6 turbocharged engine. Pretty standard for any GTR. And the first thing that pops out at me is this green color. I know when I first saw it, I was like, well, why is the valve cover green? And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but pretty much this is like a tribute to Midori. Midori Sebi has a lot of influence on this car. As I said before, this car was maintained and modified at the Midori Sebi center in Yokohama. So we'll talk about it right now. This engine here obviously is stock, nothing really crazy in here. At first glance, everything looks pretty stock. And for the most part, it is stock, guys. There's not much modification here. It is mildly modified, but it is still kind of special. Now, this is a Midori Sebi built engine, hence the green colors in here. Now, there's different specifications for Midori Sebi engines. You can have a mild version, you can have a real high extreme version. This one here is more on the mild side. This one here does consist of a N1 block, so a 24U block, 24U pistons. The head seems to be standard. We do have Midori Sebi camshafts in here, so there's a little bit of a lobe or a lope in the idle here. It's pretty cool with this one here. This one still retains the twin turbochargers on here, but it is modified to have N1 turbochargers. So it's a little bit different than the stock turbochargers, meaning the exhaust wheel or the turbine wheel is a little bit stronger and it can take higher boost. A lot of the parts on here are N1, guys, including the motor mounts, which is amazing as well. Now, besides that, we do have the HKS hard piping in here, which is standard for most GTRs. That's one of the first mods on this car. Besides that, we do also have the HKS actuators for the turbochargers. It's gonna be hard to see in there, but we do have the N1 turbochargers with the HKS actuators. Besides that, we do have the R34, R35 coil packs on here, and they are Midori Sebi branded coil packs. So this little igniter right here is not connected, it's kind of useless, and that gives you a better control of the spark and for tuning capabilities. So that's pretty cool. It is modernized a little bit. Now, besides that, we do have a new engine harness. We talked about the coil packs, and because of that, this thing does require a tune. So this is running a Midori Sebi ECU tuned by Midori Sebi. The car is so stealthy and stock, you will not even realize that there's so much modifications to the car. Besides that, we have the strut tower bracer. That's very factory and stock, but we can see the Aragasta suspension right here, and it is adjustable right here. Besides that, all the accessories are N1. We're talking about the water pump and the oil pump, and that goes without saying. This is an N1 engine, so it comes with those parts on there. Now, talking about the engine, we'll just talk about the drivetrain here. This is rocking the stock 5-speed transmission, but we do have an upgraded clutch on here. We do have a ATS twin disc carbon clutch on here. Now, that's one of the better clutches on the market. It does have that quintessential twin disc chatter when you press the clutch in. That's the only kind of downside to it, but the pedal feel is extremely soft, probably softer than stock, and it's easy to modulate. Even in stop and go traffic, it's not too aggressive. So it's a really good compromise. They are pretty expensive, but it is worth its weight in gold. And they wear pretty slowly, so it should have a really long lifespan with this car here. And if I do want to upgrade the engine or turbochargers, that clutch can handle that power output. Besides that, it's pretty stock. This car here is maintained very meticulously. You can see all the oil change intervals, timing belt intervals, but the car is in almost near perfect condition. That is it. Oh, one more thing. This car obviously has been tuned by Midori Sebi. One thing about this car is that it does have an upgraded accelerometers or G sensor, and that's actually in the armrest of the car. And that senses the G in the car, so it can change the parameters, whether it be the Atessa system or the actual four-wheel steering. Now, this one here is modified with a Midori Sebi red G sensor. It's more aggressive, and it's been tuned by Midori Sebi to give this thing a really cool, sleek handling when I'm driving it. So, although this car here is an R33, quote unquote the boat of the bunch. And on top of that, it's also a 4-door version, so it's a little bit bigger. With that tuning and that G sensor, this car feels very, very light, guys. It's very, very nimble when you're driving it. This thing does have the high-cast system still working. I could show you that, but it's not deleted, and it does add to the purity of the car. I do love the way this car here handles, the way it looks. It's very simple, yet very, very subtle underneath. One thing, we talked about the exhaust. This one here does have the downpipe. This is a Midori Sebi downpipe. We talked about the Midori Sebi exhaust, titanium exhaust. So you can think of this as a Midori Sebi kind of catalog car. It does have the coil packs. It does have the actual ECU. It has the Midori Sebi Aragasta suspension, Midori Sebi wheels, Midori Sebi Alcon brakes, Midori Sebi camshafts. What else can I say? Everything with Midori Sebi, even the ECU is Midori Sebi. So this car here is a special car overall, guys. Now, those are the mods on this car that I can think of off the top of my head. And I just wanted to document this as well, only because this is how the car came from Japan. I have done 0 modifications to this car, and I plan to do some mods of my own. So I just want to document it before I do those mods. And if you guys want to see those modifications as well, I highly recommend you hit that subscribe button there for you to be notified whenever I do drop those videos. So let me know what you think about this car, the mods. It's still in a pure form, honestly. Besides the engine being an N1 engine, the car is still pretty stock, and that's what I love about this one here. Not too much aggressive, irreversible mods on this car here. So let me know what you think about it, and hit that like button, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.